If you've played Terraria before, chances are you've seen this sword, and believe it or not, it's called the Christmas tree sword. If you've played for a little bit now, you probably remember it just shooting at an ornament, and that's it. But in 1.4, it actually did get an update that you probably didn't even know about, because it's just such an unrecognizable weapon, and there's no reason to get it normally. And this update for it actually made it really good, and gave it a lot of potential. But functionally, it is really odd. For the most part, no one is going to go out of the way to get this weapon. No matter what update you're on, it is a very odd sword. Now let's jump into it. To prove my point, here's a quick little quiz. Is the weapon A, dropped by a boss, B, gotten from presents during Christmas time, C, gotten from an event, or D, sold by the traveling merchant during Christmas time after you have beaten the mechanical bosses? The answer is, of course, number C. The answer is, of course, C. Now, which event is it gotten from? Obviously, it's a Christmas event, so it's only really between two. The Frost Moon or Frost Legion? The answer is the Frost Moon. Good job. Now, here are 3 different enemies on screen. This one here is the Ever Scream. This one is the Sand Tank. And this one is the Ice Queen. The Ice Queen would be the hardest in the event if I was not sitting here looking at her. The Sand King is the second hardest, and the Ever Scream is the earliest to spawn. Which one do you think it drops from? If you answered anything other than the Ever Scream, then you don't know anything about this weapon. I asked this all because I actually spent about half an hour farming for this weapon, killing almost exclusively Ice Queens, thinking it came from them, similar to, you know, the Horseman's Blade, which comes from the Pumpkin, the boss in the same position as the Ice Queen. So, the fact that this thing dropped from a Morning Wood out of nowhere while I was just fighting Ice Queens was amazing to me. I'm the one that's supposed to know about Terraria here, and I didn't know it dropped from a tree. But hey, we should look at the weapon itself first before judging it, right? The sword shoots a star, and from the star summons ornaments, 4 of them, that will then drop after about 2 seconds of staying in the air. Functionally, this is extremely unique. I don't know about many items in the game that will actually do this. For the most part, melee items like this will just shoot out a beam or laser like the Terra Blade or the Death Sickle. Everything, the star, the ornament, and the sword itself all do 82 damage. DPS wise on a single target, you can expect anywhere between 650 to around 800 for DPS, which it's honestly extremely underwhelming for a weapon that you get in the Frost Moon. Remember, this is the same event that mages get the Razor Pine, which is probably one of the highest regarded weapons of all time. And this one looks like a tree. And remember, I hate those things. I cut them down all the time because I hate the Lorax, that orange gremlin fuck.
Leave! Vacate the premises!
The star also does some piercing, and due to the way the ornaments drop, you'd assume that this would be great against hordes of enemies. But the star only pierces 2 enemies, and I'm honestly not convinced that the star just breaks and causes a little bit of splash damage. In the end, this thing is actually not that good against groups. It does a little more damage, having its DPS go up to maybe 1100 on the high end. I did say it wasn't that great against groups, but chances are you're even thinking right now what I thought, which is that you can just carpet bomb enemies by firing it above them and letting the ornaments fall down on them like nukes onto the Japanese. And it sort of works, but it doesn't do nearly as much damage as you would want to hope. And instead, the best way to deal damage is the most odd way you're going to fire a weapon in the game. If you are to swing the sword in a way to hit as many enemies as you can with the sword while getting the star to hit a single enemy, pass by, and then land above the majority of targets in order to let ornaments fall, you can get a significantly better DPS. This is the most disgusting arrangement of enemies you will ever see me do. But to get the best DPS you can with this weapon, you have to fire it the same way, but it has to hit another enemy at its longest point, being this odd angle. At what point in the game are you ever gonna get this situation right here? Some of you may be saying the old one's army, and to that I say probably, but I didn't check that. I'm just thinking about that now while I'm editing. Really, it seems like chances are the best way to use this is events, because you can fight some things while allowing others to get hit if they are below you. Because outside of that, DPS wise, it's equivalent to the fucking true Excalibur. Which makes me think, if you are at the point of the game where you are getting a Christmas tree sword, chances are you are well on your way to getting a Terrorblade. So what would the point be in even getting this if you could just put that same time and effort into getting a Terrorblade, which is so fucking good. I would love to be able to sit here and tell you that this weapon is just extremely underrated and it's so helpful in ways you'd never think of. But really, it's not. If you ever get it, maybe you could just use it while you're mining or something. Get rid of large hordes of enemies in the jungle if they're just in your way. Outside of that, this thing is just as awkward as that one time I talked to a girl in biology class. There's no joke here, actually. I just wanted to rub in the fact that I've been dating that woman for nearly 3 years. So, what can they do to improve this relatively mid weapon? I don't know. I'm not really a game developer, if you didn't know. But what I am is a designer. I made Louis Vuitton. I'm Louis. And also Vuitton. Don't look that up. Really, as is, I'd say the most you can really do is just give it a damage boost, maybe. If not, then, I mean, why not another rework? So, my completely unprofessional opinion, and I remind you, completely unprofessional, I'm a player. That's it. I think that the star could have more piercing. Maybe even just 4 or 5 enemies. And I think that the ornaments can stay, just not coming from the star. Instead, I think it would be interesting if they come straight off of the sword, in a burst of all 4 of them launching through the middle and going straight out, so that they could still fall down on the ground if it's not too far. What I mean by this is that these ornaments would be traveling short distances, so if something were to be right in front of you, they would get hit by practically all of them and take a lot more damage. But at the same time, the star is still going to travel and do basically nothing. The ornaments would do a little knockback, the star would do a little knockback, but the sword itself would do decent knockback. If something like that were to get implemented, then A, holy shit, and B, yay! Anyways, mechanic-wise, the sword's weird. Damage-wise, the sword's mid. Visually, it's amazing. And audibly, oh my god, I couldn't be more in love with ornaments cracking every second! Hey guys, first off, if you live in the US, happy Thanksgiving. Second off, some sad news for all of my dubbers out there. I have finals coming up, and I'm in college, so I'm going to be taking a week or 2 off so that I can focus on that right now. But good news, once all of that is over, I will be able to come back better than ever, because I will have a whole month that I can focus on videos, and god damn it, am I going to give you the most high quality content I can muster up. I'm really sorry I'm taking a short step back at such a great time for the channel, but you know, school is a great priority for anyone out there who's wondering. Just, you always gotta put the effort in, and if you don't, you end up like me and you gotta catch up at the end of the semester. But I hope you guys liked the video. I don't make money off of them. Because of that, I consider you guys my sponsor. It would be helpful if you could like, subscribe, and if you want to scream into the empty void, it's in the comments. Anyways, the video's over. I'm watching you, and see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.